wild footsteps of millions of travelers across the African savanna. They journey through vast fields, crossing swift and powerful rivers. The herds move continuously in search of fresh green pastures that emerge after each brief rain. The Great Migration, one of the largest migrations on Earth, a profound challenge of survival. 10% of the animals never reach their destination, but nothing can stop them. An endless wave of wildlife, always in motion, always striving. Welcome to wild savanna, the migration journey and challenges in the land of predators. Since the 1970s, every year, a never-ending cycle of survival takes place on the African savanna. Over 1.7 million wildebeest, 260,000 zebras, and 470,000 gazelles embark on a challenging journey. They all migrate from the Serengeti to the Masai Mara, covering more than 1,200 miles of barren land, all in search of fresh grass and water. Every step is a race for life. The wildebeest herds move like an unstoppable wave, sending dry grass flying, dust swirling with the wind. They march without rest, heading towards the promised land. Each wildebeest, weighing up to 600 pounds, faces the challenges nature has laid before them. For the calf, weighing only 40 pounds, this world is a relentless test of survival. Predators lurk nearby, ready to seize the moment for a meal. Roars tear through the night, and desperate cries echo across the savanna skies. But that is not the end. The Mara River is the final and most daunting challenge. The muddy waters, filled with Nile crocodiles, each over 16 feet long, hide beneath the currents. Their sharp, blade-like teeth wait for those who fall behind, turning this journey into a true test of endurance. Around 250,000 wildebeest and 30,000 zebras are lost during this journey. The desperate thirst during the dry season, the hunger as grasslands fade, and the exhaustion that brings many to a halt, and the ever-present predators poised to take advantage of the vulnerable. This intense journey marks the end for some, but serves as nature's ultimate test for those who survive. It is a battle between hope and hardship. In this never-ending migration, life and struggle intertwine, painting a powerful picture on this harsh land. Serengeti, a vast, flat land covering over 5,700 square miles, is the starting point of one of the greatest journeys on Earth. This is the heart of the Great Migration, a natural migration phenomenon that began millions of years ago. Through geological and climate changes, this plain has become one of the most vital survival points for wildlife. Around 2 million years ago, the arrival of the blue wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle began to shape the unique ecosystem of the savanna. Here, large herbivores have developed seasonal migration cycles. The rains and the new life sprouting from the ground trigger the migration journey as the vast herds follow fertile lands. Recent scientific research in 2023 confirmed that the Great Migration may have started around 1.7 million years ago. Formed during the Pleistocene epoch, between 2.5 million and 11,700 years ago, this migration has become an essential survival cycle in the savanna. As conservation efforts improved in the 1970s, animal populations began to stabilize and recover, continuing the eternal story of nature and life. As the rainy season ends, the grasslands quickly transform. Vegetation dries under the scorching sun, no longer able to sustain the millions of creatures living there. Life, fragile and fleeting, forces the herds to move onward. Their migration is not just about seeking food, it's also a demonstration of solidarity among small creatures surviving in a harsh land. The herds move like a flowing river, protecting each other from predators that lie in wait. But when thousands of feet march together, they create a powerful force of unity. A dance of survival, a race against nature and time. The Great Migration across the African savanna is a natural phenomenon, driven by weather and instinct. Wildebeest don't follow a fixed schedule. They listen to the call of the land, the rains, and the renewal of green pastures. The harsh climate of the African savanna becomes the invisible hand guiding their journey. A journey with no room for rest, where life and challenge always walk side by side. The short, rainy season from December to March in the African savanna marks the rebirth of the Serengeti. The first rains touch the earth like drops of life, bringing vitality to the grasslands. According to the Tanzania Meteorological Authority in 2023, average rainfall between 4 to 12 inches per month during this period allows vegetation to flourish. New grass sprouts everywhere, providing abundant food for the mothers after giving birth. The grasslands of the Serengeti are not just a source of nourishment, but a foundation that sustains the entire ecosystem. Grasses like Thomeda triandra and Pennisetum mesianum grow thanks to the ample rainfall, becoming a vital resource for millions of herbivores. Research from the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute in 2023 found that the rainfall and mild climate, with temperatures ranging from 68 degrees Fahrenheit to 79 degrees Fahrenheit, create ideal conditions for this birthing season. Although the rain is gentle, it serves as the life source that renews the grasslands, an invisible hand nurturing the herds. While the rains are not overwhelming, they are sufficient to keep the grasslands lush without causing flooding or hindering the movement of the animals. At this moment, Ndutu and the southern Serengeti awaken with the first seasonal rains, soothing the dry savanna and transforming it into a lush, green carpet that stretches to the horizon. This is a crucial time. The herds of blue wildebeest begin to arrive. These large wildebeest, standing about 4 to 5 feet tall and weighing nearly 640 pounds, choose this area as their breeding ground. Here, the young calves are nurtured under the gentle protection of nature. This is not only a significant phase in the migration cycle, but also a critical moment to ensure the survival of species during the Great Migration. During this period, Ndutu in the Serengeti becomes a vibrant scene, where over 500,000 blue wildebeest calves are born. It's more than just a wild spectacle. It's an example of predator swamping, a powerful survival strategy gifted by nature. Hundreds of thousands of calves are born within a short span. This overwhelming number leaves predators like lions, hyenas, and cheetahs in a state of overload. There's no way they can take full advantage of such an abundance of potential prey. The tiny, wobbly-legged newborns become part of a massive, living wall, protecting one another from sharp teeth. At this time, Ndutu resembles a vast arena of survival. Here, numbers turn into strength. A continuous flow of life moves forward in the Great Migration, with every step marking an eternal cycle in the African savanna. However, survival cannot rely on numbers alone. In the harsh journey of the Great Migration, young wildebeest must grow quickly, as time is not on their side. Just minutes after birth, a calf, weighing around 40 pounds, must stand up. Its first steps are not just instinctual, they are essential for survival. Within hours, it begins to run, blending into the herd, avoiding the watchful eyes of lions, hyenas, cheetahs, and other lurking predators. Thanks to the nutritious milk from their mothers, the young wildebeest grow at an incredible rate. Within just a few weeks, they can run nearly as fast as an adult, reaching speeds of 25 to 30 miles per hour. This ability is crucial for escaping predators, especially as the herds continuously move across more than 750 miles of the savanna. It's as if this instinct is etched into their very cells, a key factor that increases their chances of survival. The blue wildebeest, one of the key species of the Great Migration, continually faces challenges from major predators like lions, hyenas, African wild dogs, and cheetahs. However, the wildebeest are not entirely passive in the face of these threats. They have evolved several highly effective natural defense strategies. One of the most important tactics is moving in large herds. In Ndutu, wildebeest spread across the plains, yet they remain closely packed in dense herds that stretch to the horizon. The sheer number of individuals moving together makes it difficult for predators to single out one target, creating confusion within the flowing tide of survival. This strategy not only helps protect the vulnerable young calves from predation, but also allows the herd to take full advantage of the fresh grasses that sprout after the rains. When under threat, the adult males don't just defend the herd with their sharp horns, they also play a crucial role in forming a defensive barrier. The collective effort of the herd helps fend off predators, especially during the calving season, when life and survival are intertwined with every step across the harsh savanna. Alongside the wildebeest, zebras gather with other herds from December to March in the Ndutu region, when this area becomes one of the main breeding and feeding grounds. Unlike wildebeest, zebras do not have a synchronized breeding season. The females give birth year-round, but gathering during the rainy season provides them with many advantages. Herds of zebras, each adult weighing between 770 and 990 pounds and standing about 4 feet tall, move in dense clusters. In the vast space, the sound of their hooves echoes like the endless rhythm of the savanna. Every step on the grasslands is a struggle for survival. Zebras, with their flexible breeding strategy, not only rely on numbers for survival, but also know how to seize every moment that nature provides. The dry savanna cannot hinder the existence of zebras. The zebra herds in Ndutu, part of the Serengeti, have perfectly adapted to the semi-arid environment, where water and food are often scarce due to competition from many other herbivores. Zebras are capable of traveling dozens of miles to find water, even when the grass has withered under the scorching sun. With a diet primarily consisting of grass, zebras consume tough, fiber-rich grasses that many other herbivores overlook. This allows them to survive better during the dry season, especially while following the Great Migration, where vegetation can change rapidly with the seasons. The gestation period for zebras lasts between 12 to 13 months, but just 20 to 30 minutes after birth, the newborn zebra, calf, is already able to stand, wobbling as it takes its first steps. They may weigh only about 70 pounds, but that's not what matters. What's important is that they must stand. They must blend in with the herd. They must run. Every second counts. Across the vast fields, predators never rest. They watch. They wait for moments of weakness, for young ones to be left behind. However, thanks to their remarkable survival instincts, the young zebras quickly integrate into the herd. Once the herd moves together, they are no longer easy targets. This is a survival strategy where each individual becomes part of a unified whole, and every step is a beat in the symphony of survival. However, the long gestation period of zebras also makes them more vulnerable to predators like lions, hyenas, and cheetahs. When zebras are drinking water or resting after a long journey, they can easily fall within a predator's sight. While adult zebras can defend themselves with powerful kicks from their hind legs, the young ones are often more susceptible to being hunted. That said, zebras don't fight alone. Their greatest weapon is the unity of the herd. Zebras live in large groups, with each herd led and protected by a stallion, an adult male, who oversees the females and young. This tightly knit social system helps them maintain cohesion. Communication within the herd through vocal calls, body gestures, and social behaviors is key to protecting each other as they move. During their migration, which covers over 1,200 miles, zebras are not alone. They often travel alongside wildebeest and gazelles. These three species form a living shield, reducing the risk of predation. Predators find it difficult to single out an individual when large herds move together, creating the perfect dispersal effect. As a result, the survival rate of young zebras increases significantly due to their ability to move swiftly and the protection provided by the herd. After the rainy season, the Ndutu region transforms into a lush green field where short grasses grow rapidly, rich in nutrients. This creates an ideal environment for Thompson's gazelle, a species that primarily feeds on young grass. Though they enter the breeding season alongside wildebeest and zebras, the Thompson's gazelle has distinct reproductive behaviors and patterns. Their gestation period is shorter, lasting only 5 to 6 months. Each time, a Thompson's gazelle gives birth to a single calf, weighing around 10 pounds. Quick and small, their survival depends on every step from the very first days of life. Thompson's gazelle is one of the smallest but most agile antelope species in the African savanna, standing only 24 to 28 inches tall and weighing between 44 and 77 pounds. This species is named after the Scottish explorer Joseph Thomson. Their light brown coat, combined with a white belly and a distinct black stripe running from their hind legs to their shoulders, creates a signature look that makes Thompson's gazelle easily recognizable in the vast Serengeti grasslands. Due to their small size, Thompson's gazelles are often pursued by predators like cheetahs and, at times, African wild dogs. Newborn gazelles weigh only about 10 pounds at birth and do not immediately follow the herd. Instead, their survival strategy relies on their ability to blend in. In their early days, gazelle calves lie motionless in the tall grasses where their light brown coats blend seamlessly with the natural surroundings. This camouflage is key to helping them get through their most vulnerable stage. Each day, the mother returns to nurse the calf, then leaves it hidden in the tall grass once again. The ability to remain concealed in the expansive savanna is not only a delicate form of evasion, but also a critical factor in surviving the intense challenges of life in the Serengeti. During the Great Migration, Thompson's gazelles travel alongside the large herds of wildebeest and zebras. However, due to their smaller size, they usually follow behind, taking advantage of the young grasses left behind by the larger animals. This trait allows Thompson's gazelles to avoid direct competition and conserve energy during the grueling journey. One distinctive behavior of this species is the constant flicking of their tails, which helps signal others in the herd to the presence of predators. In addition, Thompson's gazelles often engage in stotting, high leaps while running, as a way to signal to predators that they have been spotted, while also showcasing their strength to other members of the herd. After the birthing season in early months, from April to May, the southern Serengeti grasslands begin to dry out. The rains have passed, and the green grass is now just a memory. The dry, withered fields are trampled by the heavy footsteps of millions of wildebeest, zebras, and Thompson's gazelles. This is one of the most critical stages of the Great Migration. The southern Serengeti, once a paradise, has now become an arid land, lacking in nutrients. But further north, greener pastures still await. The start date of this journey is not fixed. It can begin any time from late April to early June. When the southern Serengeti grasslands can no longer sustain them, The journey north becomes the only option. The lands in Grumeti and beyond represent their final hope. This is the moment when the herds must move. More than 500 miles to the north, new grasslands await. A massive migration begins. 1.5 million wildebeest, 300,000 gazelles, and 200,000 zebras. The animals form lines stretching as far as 25 miles, like an endless river, carrying with it the rhythm of life and survival. Each one moves with a singular goal: to survive. Wildebeest, with their enormous need for food, consume tons of grass each day. They have no choice but to move quickly northward, where enough grass and water remain to sustain life. According to ecological studies in 2023, these herds can travel 6 to 9 miles a day, much faster than during other stages of the migration. This speed is a deeply ingrained survival instinct passed down through generations. As the southern and central grasslands are consumed, they must find new land before the dry season fully sets in. If delayed, the risk of malnutrition and exhaustion looms large. At this time, decreasing rainfall also alters the path of the migrating herds. They travel along the western corridor, crossing small rivers and wetlands that remain from the rainy season. The urgent footsteps of wildebeest and zebras echo across the dry earth. The savannah becomes a race course for survival, where agility and the ability to navigate the drying landscape determine their fate. These enormous migrating herds are not just groups of animals searching for food, but living shields that protect one another. They use a unique survival strategy, moving in large herds. The sheer number of animals makes it harder for predators to single out targets, reducing the chances of a successful hunt. However, as they move further north, the large herds begin to disperse into smaller groups. This strategy helps relieve pressure on vegetation and increases access to food for each individual. Each small herd becomes a fortress of survival on the 1,200-mile journey, where every step is a battle for life. The journey north is not just a search for food and water, but a race against time. As the herds approach the Grumeti River, the migration becomes even more intense. Predators from the cat family increase their activity, turning this area into a hotbed for hunting. According to the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute in 2023, this stage sees a higher success rate for predators compared to other times of the year. Exhausted wildebeest, after a long journey and depleted energy from lack of food, become easy to spot in the open fields. Lions and cheetahs, two of the Serengeti's most renowned predators, seize every opportunity to strike as the migrating herds pass through exposed areas. The presence of predators at every turn forces the migrating herds to remain on high alert, where each step could mean the difference between survival and danger on the dry savannah. Lions, notorious and highly organized predators, pose a significant threat to the migrating animals on the African savanna. They don't hunt randomly, but rather with strategic planning, choosing ambush points along the wildebeest and zebra migration paths. Lionesses often select areas with dense bushes, trees or rugged terrain to conceal themselves, taking advantage of the element of surprise and the weariness of the herds after their long journey. In response to this threat, herbivores have developed their own defensive strategies. Zebras, with their excellent vision, often lead the migration. According to a 2023 study by the Serengeti Research Institute, zebras can detect predators from up to 1.5 miles away. When they spot lions, they immediately issue loud warning calls, helping the herd reorganize, heighten their vigilance, and prepare for sudden changes in direction. If they need to escape, both zebras and wildebeest can run at speeds of 40 to 50 miles per hour, which makes it challenging for lionesses, who can only maintain high speeds for short bursts. If escape isn't possible, wildebeest and zebras have their own defensive skills to confront lionesses, the top predators of the savannah. Wildebeest, weighing around 500 pounds, are powerful animals with sharp horns that can grow up to 30 inches. When attacked, they don't just flee, but can also fight back, using their horns to strike and defend against predators. Lionesses, despite their strength, can suffer serious injuries if struck by a wildebeest's horns. Zebras, weighing around 900 pounds, can also turn the tables on the king of the savannah with powerful kicks from their hind legs. According to 2024 data from the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute, a zebra's kick is strong enough to cause serious injuries to lions, especially when aimed at the head or chest. This ability allows them to defend themselves when under threat. Additionally, zebras tend to run in smaller groups and use their kicks when faced with the danger of being surrounded. In areas with dense grass and rugged terrain, tensions rise. On one side are the patient, hidden lions, and on the other, the cautious, alert herds, moving carefully with each step. The struggle for survival between predator and prey plays out daily, where life and danger are always just a heartbeat apart on the vast savanna grasslands. Meanwhile, cheetahs become a significant threat to gazelles and zebras. With incredible speeds reaching between 60 to 75 miles per hour in short chases, cheetahs are the fastest land predators. On the open plains of the African savanna, where speed is a key weapon, cheetahs take advantage of their ability to sprint across flat fields to close in on their targets. However, migrating animals have their own defense strategies. When a chase begins, gazelles don't scatter aimlessly in fear. Instead, they employ smart tactics. Thompson's gazelles, small but incredibly quick, disperse in different directions. This creates visual confusion, making it harder for cheetahs to focus on a single target. With speeds of 50 to 60 miles per hour, Thompson's gazelles are formidable opponents. However, their primary defense lies not just in speed, but in their ability to make sudden changes in direction. They use zigzag running patterns with sharp turns, causing cheetahs to lose momentum. These movements require precise timing and prevent the predator from maintaining maximum speed for long. Cheetahs can only sustain their high speeds for 20 to 30 seconds, and if the gazelle can evade the cheetah for that long, the chance of survival increases dramatically. Around May to June, the wildebeest, zebras and gazelles head towards the western Serengeti, where the Grumeti River crosses their path. The migration now faces a significant challenge: crossing the treacherous waters. Predators lurk beneath the surface or ambush from the riverbanks, waiting for the inevitable moment when the animals must cross. The lush green pastures to the north are just beyond the river, but it represents a boundary between survival and danger. The Grumeti River, although not as wide as the Mara River, remains a formidable obstacle on the migration journey. Stretching about 30 miles in length, its narrow and deep sections become deadly traps for the migrating herds, which often move in large groups, relying on numbers for protection from predators. As the migration reaches the Grumeti River, they encounter one of the savannah's most formidable predators, the Nile crocodile. These aquatic giants patiently hide beneath the surface, waiting for the moment the animals enter their range. With an average length of 16 to 20 feet and an immense bite force of up to 3,700 pounds per square inch, a single moment of inattention can lead to an adult zebra being dragged into the murky waters in an instant. According to research from the African Wildlife Conservation Fund in 2024, the success rate of Nile crocodiles during chaotic river crossings reaches up to 70%. For the weaker, younger, or more fatigued members of the herd, the river becomes a deadly trap. Young wildebeest or small gazelles, lacking the strength to fight against the current, may succumb and become a feast for the waiting crocodiles. The Grumeti River becomes a perilous barrier in the migration, where life and danger are decided in mere seconds amidst the swirling waters. But the Grumeti River is not the only challenge. On either side of the river, large cats like lions, hyenas, and leopards lie in wait, ready to take advantage of any moment of distraction. Among them, leopards are particularly notorious for their climbing abilities and their skill in ambushing from above, making them especially dangerous in areas with dense vegetation. Leopards patiently wait for prey from high branches, targeting weakened or young animals that stray from the herd. According to research from the Serengeti Research Institute in 2024, leopards have a 50 to 60% success rate in attacking vulnerable or young migrating animals. They capitalize on the panic following the river crossing, choosing individuals who are too exhausted to keep pace with the herd. With their agility and impressive strength, leopards can launch a surprise attack and take down prey in the blink of an eye. Once they've caught their prey, leopards will drag the carcass up a tree to avoid it being stolen by other predators. Despite the dangers and challenges, the migrating herds must press on to reach the lands of hope and life beyond the river. At this point, they demonstrate remarkable survival skills and strategies. As they approach the Grumeti River, the timing, location, and method of crossing become matters of life and death. A wrong choice can lead to disaster, with Nile crocodiles waiting in the water. In May and June, the Grumeti River is often filled with water due to earlier heavy rains. However, as the rains diminish, the river's water level becomes unpredictable, creating dangerous conditions for the animals crossing. At this stage, the most important survival strategy is moving in large groups. Around 1 million wildebeest and 200,000 zebras will cross the river during this time, often in groups of 5,000 to 10,000 animals at a time. The leaders of the herd, typically the strongest individuals, will guide the group across, scouting the riverbed to find a safe path. Moving in large groups not only increases their chances of survival by providing protection for one another, but it also creates confusion. This makes it difficult for predators to select a specific target to attack. In the fast-flowing waters and dangerous hunts, the unity of the herd becomes their strongest weapon, turning this perilous journey into a strategic contest between survival and danger. One distinctive behavior scientists have observed in the migration is the hesitation of wildebeest before crossing the Grumeti River. This behavior can last from several hours to even days, as the herd gathers at the riverbank, examining the water and looking for signs of Nile crocodiles. This hesitation is not just indecision, but a crucial survival strategy. According to the latest ecological studies, this caution allows the herd leaders to detect potential threats, particularly if the water is too deep or if crocodiles are near the shore. These tense moments of waiting create an atmosphere of suspense and danger, where the line between life and danger is razor thin. This behavior gives the wildebeest time to scout the area, minimize risk, and increase their chances of survival in the challenging river crossing. It's more than just a migration. It's a calculated battle with nature, where survival instincts have been honed over millions of years. In June, the African savanna becomes more vibrant than ever. The migration continues its rhythm northward, but also enters a special phase, the mating season. The migrating herds suddenly become tense. Male animals battle to secure the right to continue their lineage, creating dramatic scenes across the vast grasslands. Roars and the thunder of hooves echo everywhere. The struggle for survival becomes even more complex as predators seize this opportunity to hunt for an easy meal. During this time, the herds no longer move as a unified group. Smaller groups, known as splinter herds, scatter in different directions. They spread across the Serengeti, searching for the remaining fresh grass. Two main paths unfold. Some groups head west, crossing the Grumeti River and into the Singita Grumeti Reserve. Others move straight north, passing through Seronera, reaching Lobo, and approaching the Loliondo border. June to July in the Serengeti marks a significant shift in climate. According to data from the Tanzania Meteorological Authority in 2023, average rainfall during this period drops sharply, ranging from 0.8 to 2 inches per month. Short rains may still appear, but the gradual decrease in moisture signals the approaching dry season. Temperatures rise, grass begins to wither, and water sources become scarce, forcing the migrating animals to fight for survival. June to July marks the rut, or mating season, for the migrating species in the Great Migration. Millions of wildebeest and zebras move across the dry plains, but at this moment, the competition for mates becomes the top priority. The strongest males face off, defending their territories and fighting for the right to breed. The dry climate, yellowing grass, and scarcity of water add to the intensity of this battle, pushing each animal to the limits of survival. Blue wildebeest are the largest in number and considered a keystone species in the Great Migration. As June arrives, the northern Serengeti and western corridors are filled with the roars of males during the mating season. This is when they begin to establish territories and engage in intense competition to attract females. The strongest males select the most fertile grasslands as temporary territories. With every stride, they showcase their strength through intense confrontations, from headbutting to high-speed chases. The fight for mating rights is a relentless battle. Successful males who defend their territories well have higher chances of breeding and may mate with several females in their area. Nature adds an interesting dynamic to this battle. Blue wildebeest don't just rely on strength, but also use a subtle chemical signal. They mark their territory with a unique scent from pheromones, rubbing their horns and bodies against trees or the ground. This helps them not only protect their territory, but also attract females during the breeding season, maintaining social stability within the herd. However, the harsh weather conditions add another layer of challenge. As rainfall decreases in the Serengeti, grass becomes scarce. This forces males to constantly move to find fresh grass, making their territories less stable. In years of low rainfall, males have to change territories more frequently, reducing their chances of successfully maintaining their territory and breeding. Amid the Serengeti's dry grasslands, as hot winds lift dust into the air, every confrontation and movement becomes a dance of survival, where mating instincts and the struggle to endure are intertwined. Unlike blue wildebeest, zebras have a more complex and stable social system known as a harem, led by a dominant male. A harem consists of one male, several females, and their offspring. These members often stay together for months or even years. During the mating season from June to July, the harems gather into larger herds, sometimes reaching hundreds of individuals, migrating together toward the northern Serengeti and the western corridor. During this time, the males protect their harems fiercely, fending off intruders trying to approach the females. A male will signal a warning by rubbing his nose or shoulder against the rival. If there is no retreat, a fierce battle will ensue, sometimes lasting for hours as the two males wrestle, biting each other's necks, heads, or legs. The victorious male ensures the right to mate with all the females in his harem, maintaining stability and strong genetics for the next generation. Although they don't have a harem system, Thomson's gazelles are polygynous, with each dominant male mating with multiple females in his territory. Their breeding occurs regularly throughout the year, helping their population thrive. During the rut, males establish temporary territories, waiting for females to enter their area. Unlike the fierce battles seen in blue wildebeest and zebras, the gazelle males don't engage in intense fighting. At this time, males who control areas with lush grass have better chances of mating, as females tend to gather where food is plentiful, ensuring good health during the breeding season. During the mating season, in addition to grazing and competing for mates, the migrating herds continue their journey. They move in large groups, creating a natural shield against predators. The coordination between multiple species, especially zebras with their unique black and white stripes, causes visual confusion for predators, making it harder for them to pinpoint a specific target. As the herds move in large groups, the success rates of lions and cheetahs drop significantly. This improves the chances of survival, as potential prey are constantly protected by thousands of other animals. Even gazelles, though smaller than wildebeest and zebras, benefit from this protection when they move with larger herds. However, as food and water become scarce towards the end of the rainy season, the large herds often begin to break up into splinter herds in search of resources. This fragmentation creates more opportunities for predators to ambush, often targeting weaker or young individuals when the herd is scattered. In the Western Corridor and Kogatende area, lions take advantage of the dispersal of migrating animals to ambush those that are weak or exhausted during the mating season. During this time, dominant males often become fatigued from defending their territories and mates, making them easy targets for surprise attacks. Lion pride along the Grumeti River and in the Singita area use the complex terrain to ambush smaller herds as they cross the river. The mating season is a prime time for lions to hunt, as the dispersal of the herd and internal competition leave the animals distracted and less vigilant. Additionally, the migrating herds must also face leopards, a solitary and stealthy predator known for their ability to hide and ambush from above. During the mating season, when gazelle herds are more prone to scattering, leopards often target weak, young, or isolated individuals. Particularly when the males are busy defending their territories and competing for mates, leopards exploit their distraction to launch ambushes. With their climbing skills and muscular strength, leopards easily navigate challenging terrain, creating a significant threat to the migrating animals during their journey. The dense vegetation in the Serengeti and the Western Corridor offers leopards excellent cover. Thanks to their surprise ambushes from trees or thick grass, leopards can take down their prey in mere seconds before the herd can organize a response. According to the latest data from 2024, the success rate of leopards can reach 50 to 60% during quick and sudden attacks. Adding to the challenges of the migration is the formidable presence of hyenas, known for their complex social structures and group hunting strategies. During the mating season, they become a significant threat, especially to young or weak individuals when the herds are scattered. Hyenas are not only skilled hunters, but also opportunistic scavengers, often stealing prey from other animals. Unlike large cats, who often hunt alone, hyenas use pack strategies, surrounding and wearing down their prey through long chases before making their move. They focus on areas where the herds gather for mating, targeting individuals that have strayed from the group or when males are preoccupied with defending territories. From August to October, the Kogatende region in northern Serengeti and Kenya's Masai Mara become the focal point of the Great Migration. Millions of wildebeest, zebras and gazelles move north, having crossed the dry plains of the Serengeti, only to face the formidable Mara River. Daily river crossings take place, presenting a harsh challenge. This is the most difficult part of their journey. On the other side of the river lies the Masai Mara, a lush grassland, only 580 square miles, but full of promise with fresh grass sprouting after the rains. To reach it, the herds must cross the powerful river and face the dangers lurking within. The fast-flowing river stretches for miles, and beneath its murky waters are massive Nile crocodiles, eagerly awaiting their annual feast. As the migrating herds approach, the river's water levels can fluctuate unexpectedly, posing a serious threat to their crossing. In 2024, the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute reported that during years of unusual rainfall, the Mara River's water levels can change dramatically. Sudden rises can create flash floods, making the crossing perilous for the migrating animals. However, in years with lower rainfall, the river levels drop, making it easier for the herds to cross. But this also means an increase in the number of Nile crocodiles, silently waiting beneath the still waters. The risk of crocodile attacks rises as the herds cross, turning this journey into one of the most dangerous moments of the Great Migration. The fluctuating water levels of the Mara River play a crucial role in the migration behavior of the animals. At this point, choosing the right time to cross is a matter of survival, as each decision directly impacts the herd's safety. Research from the Serengeti Research Institute in 2024 shows that in years with heavy rainfall, the mortality rate during river crossings can increase by 10 to 20% due to strong currents and the risk of drowning. On the other hand, in drier years, this rate decreases, but the risk of crocodile attacks increases as the herds are forced to cross shallower sections of the river, making them more vulnerable. From July to October, the wildebeest and zebra herds continuously move through northern Serengeti and the Masai Mara in Kenya. The river crossings happen daily, with multiple crossing points along the Mara River. A common misconception is that the herds only move north in June and stay in Kenya until October, but the reality is much more complex. At crossing points, the herds may suddenly change direction, sometimes crossing the river only to turn back immediately. The decision to cross or not often happens abruptly and without a set pattern. If one individual decides to jump into the water, many others will follow. Sometimes it's just 10 animals, but other times it's 10,000, creating dramatic migration scenes. As the wildebeest and zebra herds approach the Mara River, one of their most notable behaviors is hesitation and exploration. The herds often gather at the riverbanks for several days, waiting for the lead individuals, especially zebras, who have excellent vision and can assess the danger of the river. This behavior reflects not only caution, but also a sophisticated survival strategy. As the wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles step into the Mara River, the tension rises with every footstep. Hundreds of hungry crocodiles await, anticipating a grand feast. On both riverbanks, lions and hyenas also take advantage of the moment when individuals are separated from the herd or exhausted after their long journey. In these decisive moments, the river is no longer just a crossing. It transforms into a harsh arena. The predators, hidden beneath the water, are ready for the chaotic moments when the herds begin to cross. With their immense size and unmatched strength in the water, Nile crocodiles can easily pull down an adult wildebeest weighing 1,000 pounds. Here, they perform powerful death rolls underwater to tear apart their prey. From July to October, the Great Migration brings millions of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles from the Serengeti across the Mara River. Masai Mara transforms into a vibrant arena of survival. Covering approximately 580 square miles, This region is a natural extension of the Serengeti to the south, with diverse landscapes ranging from vast grasslands to river valleys and low woodlands. This area benefits from some of the highest rainfall in the savanna, with annual precipitation ranging from 30 to 50 inches, creating a rich and diverse vegetation. The short, lush grasses provide an ideal food source for wildebeest and zebras. Meanwhile, the taller grasses serve as a habitat for larger native herbivores like giraffes and elephants. This diversity creates a complex yet balanced ecosystem, where animals coexist without intense competition for food. Masai Mara is a biodiversity hotspot in the African savanna. This area is home to more than 95 mammal species and 570 different bird species. The rich variety of herbivores, combined with the migration of millions of animals, has created a complex food chain where predators are constantly in search of high-quality meals. The Masai Mara is home to the Big Five: lions, leopards, elephants, buffaloes, and rhinoceroses. Originally, the term Big Five was used by hunters to refer to the most challenging animals to hunt. But today, it has become a symbol of eco-tourism. Lions, a key species in the Big Five, play a central role in the Masai Mara ecosystem in Kenya. As apex predators, they typically hunt in prides. Large prides, such as the marsh pride, take advantage of the wildebeest and zebra migration, making it easier to find food. During the migration, lions often target larger prey like wildebeest, buffalo, and zebra, but they can also hunt smaller animals like gazelles. The size of the prey directly influences the lion's hunting strategies. When hunting smaller animals, 1 or 2 lionesses can carry out the hunt alone. However, when facing larger animals like buffalo or young elephants, lionesses usually coordinate as a group to increase their chances of success. Lions in Masai Mara tend to have higher hunting success rates at night, thanks to their excellent night vision. This becomes particularly important when wildebeest and zebras are fatigued after their long journey, making them easier targets. Beyond being hunters, lions play a vital role in controlling herbivore populations. As lion numbers increase, populations of wildebeest and buffalo decrease, which helps prevent overgrazing. This maintains ecological balance in Masai Mara, ensuring the grasslands are not overconsumed and keeping the entire ecosystem healthy. Leopards, one of the most successful predators in the region, hide in the shadows of the African savanna. In Masai Mara, they are typically nocturnal and live solitary lives in dense vegetation near rivers. Although their numbers are not large, the diverse vegetation provides enough space for leopards to hunt and survive in this competitive ecosystem. Leopards are versatile hunters, preying on a wide range of animals, from small species like rabbits and birds to medium-sized prey such as gazelles and impalas. Not only are they independent predators, but leopards also contribute to maintaining ecological balance. Their ability to hunt at night reduces the pressure on herbivores during the day. Using the cover of darkness, leopards approach their prey with incredible speed and precision. A 2023 study showed that the hunting success rate of leopards in Masai Mara is around 38%, significantly higher than other predators in the area. In the Masai Mara, the African bush elephant is the largest land animal and an important member of the Big Five. Adult males can weigh up to 13,000 pounds, and stand between 10 to 13 feet tall at the shoulder, while females are lighter, weighing between 6,000 and 8,800 pounds. Their long tusks and remarkable memory not only help them find water, but also enable them to remember migration corridors across generations. African bush elephants live in matriarchal herds led by adult females. Males leave the herd upon maturity to live either alone or in small bachelor groups. In the Masai Mara, elephants act as the architects of the savanna, using their strength to knock down trees, move smaller plants, and create new grassland areas. This provides ideal habitats for smaller herbivores like gazelles and impalas. Arc elephant can consume up to 300 pounds of vegetation daily. Not only do they shape the landscape, but they also search for and dig up water from dry soil during droughts. As a result, other smaller animals benefit from the precious water that the elephants uncover. The next giant, the African buffalo, is one of the most formidable members of the Big Five and a symbol of strength in the Masai Mara. Adult males can weigh between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds and stand about 4 to 5 feet tall at the shoulder. Their curved horns, especially the thick and hard part in the center called the boss, play a crucial role in self-defense, helping them fend off powerful predators like lions and hyenas. Buffalo live in large herds of up to 500 individuals, providing protection and safety for weaker or younger members. When attacked, buffalo herds often work together to defend each other, especially against large predators like lions. A 2023 study shows that lions' success rate in hunting large buffalo herds is only about 10 to 15%, demonstrating the power of herd unity. Among the Big Five, the rhinoceros is one of the rarest and most vulnerable species. Masai Mara is home to both the black rhino, Diceros bicornis, and the white rhino, Ceratotherium cymum, with the black rhino being more common, although their population remains critically endangered. The black rhino is smaller than the white rhino, weighing between 1,750 and 3,000 pounds, and is known for its solitary and aggressive nature. In contrast, the white rhino, weighing up to 5,000 pounds, typically resides in southern African grasslands. In the Masai Mara, black rhinos live in dry savanna areas with horns that can grow up to 5 feet long. Unfortunately, this feature makes them a target for poaching due to the demand for their horns in traditional medicine and trade. According to the Kenya Wildlife Service in 2023, there are only about 30 to 40 black rhinos left in the Masai Mara, despite numerous conservation efforts and anti-poaching patrols. From July to October each year, the Great Migration brings millions of wildebeest, zebras and gazelles across the Mara River, creating a breathtaking natural spectacle in the Masai Mara. The ecosystem undergoes significant changes as the vast grasslands become the gathering place for these massive herds. During the migration, these herbivores not only search for fresh grass, but also play a crucial role in the Masai Mara's food chain. According to a 2023 report from the Serengeti Mara Ecosystem Trust, the mass grazing stimulates the growth of fresh grasses. Additionally, the movement of the herds helps disperse seeds, increasing soil fertility. However, the large amount of dung produced during the migration also affects the growth and distribution of vegetation, creating favorable conditions for other species in the area. As November and December arrive, short rains begin to fall over the southern Serengeti, bringing the dry grasslands back to life and creating lush green pastures, an ideal food source for blue wildebeest and zebras. This is the signal for the migrating animals to leave Masai Mara and begin their journey back to southern Tanzania. The Great Migration enters its final phase, and the Serengeti Plains once again become the destination for the end of this long and challenging journey. At this time, in Ndutu, the short grasslands stretch out, forming the perfect birthing grounds for the wildebeest, ready to begin a new reproductive cycle. Nature prepares for a season of renewal, marking a fresh start after a dangerous and arduous journey. In 2023, around 1.3 million wildebeest, 300,000 zebras, and hundreds of thousands of gazelles moved in seemingly endless streams. The flow of life continues, unceasing. Crossing the Mara River for the second time in the year, the herds once again face familiar challenges. The fast-moving waters, the waiting crocodiles, and the chaos of the herd as they step into the river. Yet the resilient animals continue their journey southward. The Lobo area and the northern plains are only brief stops before the herds enter Ndutu, where new rains have begun to nourish the fresh grass. Migrating animals like blue wildebeest and zebras follow a very distinct movement pattern in response to rainfall. This journey is not only a search for fresh grass, but also a survival mechanism driven by the natural cycle. The migration behavior of wildebeest is influenced by hormonal changes and their keen ability to sense environmental shifts. During this period, the herds are not just moving in search of food, but also preparing for the upcoming breeding season at the beginning of the year. The Ndutu area, in particular, becomes an ideal destination due to its lush green grass and abundant water from the short rains. This allows the herds to replenish their energy after the long journey, getting ready for a challenging breeding season. As the migrating animals return in November and December, this marks a harsh and challenging phase of their journey. Predators like lions, hyenas, cheetahs, leopards, and occasionally African wild dogs patiently wait in the grasslands and near water sources where the herds typically stop. As the animals come back to the Serengeti to enjoy the rains and fresh grass, their exhaustion after the long journey makes them easier targets. Lions and hyenas fully take advantage of the herd's dispersal. As the fresh grass becomes more enticing, the herds spread out in search of food, creating opportunities for sudden ambushes by predators. The open terrain of the Serengeti and the appearance of water pools after the rains turn these resting spots into potential traps. Hyenas use their strategy of chasing and isolating weaker individuals, often targeting females or young ones, while lions usually focus on older, weaker or solitary animals. Though they are fewer in number and face competition from lions and hyenas, African wild dogs remain highly efficient predators, particularly of Thomson's gazelle. Their success rate can reach up to 80% due to their skill and coordinated group hunting, focusing on medium-sized prey like Thomson's gazelle, impala, and lesser kudu. To cope with predators constantly lurking, wildebeest and zebras employ defensive strategies. The herds gather in large groups, with the young and weak surrounded by older, stronger individuals, creating a living barrier of protection. Their unity forms a moving wall, making it harder for predators to isolate and attack their targets. Whenever lions attempt to single out a young or sick animal, the herd tightens its formation, making the hunt more difficult. In the final months of the year, though the return to the Serengeti signals a hopeful rainy season, it is also one of the most dangerous times. The struggle for survival among the migrating animals never truly ends. But through unity, alertness, and sophisticated defense strategies, they manage to overcome the constant threats that await in the harsh savannah. The challenges faced by the travelers of the Great Migration across the African savannah extend beyond dangerous river crossings and the threats posed by predators. There is also the rising pressure from environmental stress. Climate change is becoming one of the biggest challenges the Great Migration must face. The migrating animals rely heavily on fresh grass and clean water, but the weather no longer follows traditional patterns. This not only changes their habitat, but alters the entire migration journey. These challenges push the herds into a more intense struggle for survival, where both nature and predators become significant threats. The rainy season in the Serengeti usually lasts from November to December, with a longer rainy season from March to May. But according to 2024 reports, rainfall has become more unpredictable. Short rains may last longer or arrive late, forcing the animals to adjust their migration pace. This directly affects the growth of grass, leaving insufficient food for the entire herd. In addition to changes in rainfall, average temperatures in the Serengeti and Masai Mara have also risen due to climate change. Higher temperatures cause water to evaporate more quickly, drying up rivers like the Grumeti and Mara much faster. This forces the herds to travel farther and move more quickly in search of water. In harsher years, higher temperatures lead to a spike in mortality rates due to exhaustion and a lack of food sources. One result of shifting rainfall patterns is the occurrence of extreme weather events, such as droughts and floods. Among these, drought in the Serengeti poses one of the most severe challenges for migrating animals. When the grass doesn't grow fast enough or in sufficient quantities, wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles are forced to move earlier toward Masai Mara or stay there longer. This creates immense pressure on resources in the Masai Mara, where both grass and water become scarce. Flooding also poses hidden threats. According to a 2023 report from the Serengeti Research Institute, during years of heavy rainfall, rivers can become fast-flowing torrents, putting the herds in danger. Mortality rates during river crossings can reach up to 10%, particularly among the young. The river crossings, a vital part of the Great Migration, turn into nightmares where life and death are only a breath apart. Meanwhile, erosion and shifts in the terrain continuously reshape the path of the Great Migration. Heavy rains carve deep valleys and rugged hills into the savanna's surface. Rivers that once provided life have now turned into swift currents, threatening any animal that dares to approach. Wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles are forced to adjust their routes, sometimes crossing areas previously unexplored. The situation is far from ideal. Under human impact, even more serious consequences are happening with increasing frequency. The struggle for survival is no longer governed solely by the natural order. Infrastructure development in the Serengeti and Masai Mara is threatening the great migration of millions of herbivores and the entire food chain within this ecosystem. Projects such as roads, bridges, and urban development are creating major barriers, disrupting migration routes that have existed for thousands of years. These constructions cut across vast grasslands, dividing important ecological corridors that the migrating herds regularly use. WWF's 2023 report warns that such infrastructure could lead to significant accidents for the herds as they are forced to cross roads to continue their journey. Moreover, while tourism provides a significant revenue stream for Tanzania and Kenya, unsustainable tourism practices are causing concerning impacts on the Great Migration. The construction of resorts, campsites, and roads has encroached on the natural habitat of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles. Overcrowded safari vehicles in protected areas are a major issue. According to the Kenya Wildlife Service's 2024 report, during peak season, the Masai Mara can see as many as 600 vehicles per day. This heavy traffic not only disrupts the natural behavior of animals, but also causes stress. Herds are chased, forced to avoid vehicles, and must constantly change their routes, leading to herd fragmentation and increasing the risk of predation. The Great Migration, a majestic natural phenomenon, is facing increasingly serious threats. New developments are rising, grasslands are shrinking. Climate and weather patterns are becoming more unpredictable and erratic. Natural disasters are becoming more severe. The migrations seem longer, more exhausting, and more intense. The savanna ecosystem is withering with each blade of grass during the dry season. Without timely protective action, this magnificent journey of survival could be irreversibly damaged in the not-too-distant future. In response to these mounting challenges, international organizations, local governments, and non-profits have been working tirelessly to find solutions for nature conservation. Expanding protected nature reserves and ecological corridors has become one of the key strategies. The Serengeti and Masai Mara are already large protected areas, but expanding them to ensure connectivity between these regions is essential. One notable project is the Western Corridor of the Serengeti. According to a 2023 report from the Tanzania Wildlife Research Institute, the Tanzanian government is working to expand this area to protect the herds as they cross the Grumeti and Mara rivers. These corridors help minimize human-wildlife conflicts while protecting migration routes from fragmentation. According to the Serengeti Research Institute in 2024, the government has implemented measures to limit the number of vehicles in conservation areas to reduce disruptions to the natural behavior of migrating animals. Ecotourism is also encouraged, with resorts adopting sustainable practices such as minimizing plastic waste and using renewable energy. Restoration projects for vegetation and water management at rivers like the Grumeti and Mara have also contributed to maintaining a viable habitat for migrating animals. According to data from the Serengeti Ecosystem Management Project in 2023, 5,000 hectares of land have been restored, providing food for the herds during migration. Additionally, environmental education programs, supported by organizations like the African Wildlife Foundation, have raised awareness and reduced the pressure from poaching. Local communities are encouraged to participate in ecotourism projects, allowing them to benefit directly from this source of income. In the ongoing efforts to conserve this ecosystem, the Northern Tanzania Rangelands Initiative, NTRI, has emerged as an inspiring success story. This collaborative effort between conservation organizations and local communities aims to protect vital ecological corridors. particularly along the migration route of wildebeest, zebras and gazelles from the Serengeti to the Masai Mara. The success of these conservation projects also serves as a reminder of the responsibility we all share. To protect this great migration and the ecosystem it supports, not only organizations and governments, but also individuals play a crucial role. By contributing financially to reputable conservation organizations, people can directly support efforts to protect wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles. When visiting the Serengeti or Masai Mara, choosing eco-friendly tour companies with clear conservation standards, such as using renewable energy or reducing plastic waste, is a practical way to contribute. Respecting conservation guidelines, such as keeping a safe distance from animals, is another way to protect them from unnecessary stress. Visitors can also support community-based conservation projects by purchasing handmade crafts or using services from the Maasai people. Have you ever been on a safari, witnessing the endless flow of migration and the heart-stopping river crossings of the Great Migration? If so, don't hesitate to share your experiences in the comments below. Your photos and stories help raise global awareness of the importance and urgency of protecting this ecosystem, making you an ambassador for the conservation of the Great Migration. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to join us on more magical adventures where nature's stories are still waiting to be told.